Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Humanity. Yeah, well, today I've come again and we are going to discuss the usual subject, which is health. Health is important to you, as well as it is important, you being in good health, it's important to the community in which you live in. Having said that, many of you do not realize that if a community has many sick men and women, that leads to low productivity. I mean, low productivity, that means there's no growth within that country or society. And that applies to birth rate as well. If you are people, your society is kind of sick all the time, there'll be no rebirth of, production of children. So with that, I just wanted to remind human beings that you have the responsibility as individuals. For the reason why I mentioned what you have a responsibility as an individual, when it's time for you to go to bed, you don't have to get a third party say, "Doctor, I'm about to go to bed." Or "Pastor, I'm going to bed. Will I sleep or am I going to sleep?" No. Your responsibility is to ensure that you had a health meal during the course of the day, you had a healthy breakfast, and a healthy brain whereby you don't put things like insurrection, fighting Islam, fighting so-and-so, I'm jealous of so-and-so. All these things, once they are in your brain, they cause a lot of what you call conflict within the system of your brain as well as the system of your heart. And that once the system of the brain detects that you are in conflict with the members of your society, let be a girl, so because of her color, let be a man, you don't, it depends what kind of bad thing that you put in your head. That will automatically trigger whatever, your blood cells, because the blood cells, because people, it's something that I will explain in just short sentences. When we created human beings, we created them incorporating what sustained them as a part of the community. Incorporating what sustains human beings, a part of their community, a part of their whatever they are. Take, for instance, domesticated animals. Take, for instance, trees. Those are incorporated within the workings of a community in which you human beings live. When you turn around and say, I don't like that tree, I don't like this and that, that is when you are in conflict and confrontation with first of all, with your own, the true religion of your own body, which is Mother Nature and the surroundings around you, and the complementary substance around you. So you find yourself fighting with either the grass, fighting with the trees, and these are things that can lead to so many things. And these things occur in human bodies. Always they are driven by two factors. One, once you consume alcohol, as I've stated again and again and again, that alcohol is a very, very deadly substance, a very deadly drug. It has kind of over the years, as men have been they took it, and in some countries they say, it's our way of life, whereby it generated disease which have become hereditary. diseases, the medical disorders, which have become hereditary. That includes cancer, includes the deadly, whatever that is called cancer, which is if you have any alcohol, whatever, we saw that any unit of alcohol a woman consumes goes straight into the ovary. It destroys the original ovary lining. The ovary has the lining, which is a woman created with originally. But once you put alcohol in your body, that lining of the ovaries is destroyed by the alcohol toxic gang. And that once an egg goes into that toxic gang of alcohol, it's genetically altered. As it is genetically altered, the result is that you have medical disorder to which every child that you produce as a woman who consumed alcohol. Because on top of that, alcohol, once it is in your body, even if it is in the ovaries, and it is in every muscle tissue in your body. So that leads to genetic disorders which have kind of illustrated them into hereditary diseases. With that, when you hear me warning men and say, please, people of what you call modern times, your bodies, when they were created, there is no mechanisms to process or remove alcohol in your bodies. It's not there. There is your body as human being does not have any know-how to process or to remove alcohol toxic gang from your bodies. So with that, it's your responsibility as an individual to ensure that you get close and find out about Islam, because the reason why I do ask you to find about the true religion from which you are created, it is the tree you look at in your compound. The reason why it is there is to remind you that in Islam, I, as a tree which stands on a stem which represents letter I produce flowers. On top of producing flowers, I produce fruits. I do all that in the most holy, beautiful religion of Islam. And each and every leaf on my canopy is a shahada, a divine oath, which every soul that was created takes before the most holy, glorified Almighty Allah to enable it to live within the community of all Christians in the universe. Islam is the most holy, beautiful religion, and that he translates, Allah says, life is a religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. You may take that lightly. If you do, you find that maybe you have to consult someone who will tell you, we have to either send you to a scan or find out what is happening. But if you turn to your Creator, who knows when you do, from the very day you were born, He managed your body from stage 1, you get how many kilos, things like that. If you leave that guidance which He gave to human beings free of charge, then you go to a third-party consultant, either if you're pregnant, a gynecologist, if you have a head problem, you have what we call a neurologist, and so on and so on. It's up to you. But for me, my advice is free of charge. Because I know what you don't know. And it's my celestial obligation. Because at the moment, if you have to look at your lives as human beings, because I try to put it in 11 centuries to show you how stagnant your lives have been as human beings, whereby genocide after genocide, whatever you can call stagnant kind of mutilation of physical mutilation of one another, psychological mutilation of one another, all these accumulated due to the fact that some of you chose to say, we have our own way of life. You have your own way of life, but you cannot put it on a scale and wait and see. If I stand on this scale in my room, it says I'm 56 kilos. If I'm 56 kilos, what weight is my head? I mean, what is the weight of my head? If you cannot answer that, please don't get into conflict with the religion from which you are created. Find out about the Holy Quran and all the divine law and prescriptions that guides men to live within the boundaries that are prescribed by holy divine law and interpretations. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.